So I'm having a hard time remembering in Hercules which one is pain and which one is panic. Like, and also, if panic is like the tall, like blue one, the tall, skinny blue one, doesn't he also look like the purple guy from Inside Out as well? Like, are those the same? I think maybe the same. Yeah. So we're making pain and panic today. That's not just a random stream of consciousness. We're actually doing the damn thing. But before I talk to you about the bar and all the things, I got to do the thing because it's my thing. Hello, I am Mrs. Soap and Clay. Let's make stuff. How's it going, Sudsers? Welcome back to the channel. You are at Soap and Clay, where we make all the soapy things, and we're making the Disney-inspired things again today. We are making Pain and Panic to follow up with the Megara soap that we've already made. So that is super cool. Now, this was, again, during the Disney-inspired soaps, Georgia May and I decided that we're going to split it from now on. And so she gets to do one and I get to do the other because she was like taking all the Disney ones and just rolling with them, and she did great jobs. But I wanted to play too. So with this one, because Megara was her favorite princess, right? Like ever. She loves Megara. And so I asked her which one she wanted to do. And when we decided that we wanted to do Pain and Panic instead of Hades, she went, oh, me, I want to do Pain and Panic. And so she's doing Pain and Panic today. Now, this is a really fun pour, and she actually like gets dividers out and does it all proper like, which is weird because we don't usually do dividers and proper things. So let's go watch her make Pain and Panic, which is super awesome. And, we'll talk about it in the video. So this is super exciting because it's Pain and Panic. And when we decided to do Hercules, this is like Georgia May's favorite, right? Like Megara is her favorite princess or whatever. And so when I told her, I asked her, I was like, which one do you want to do? Do you want to do Megara or Pain and Panic? And she went, oh, I want to do Pain and Panic. And so that's what we're doing. But that's cool. Georgia May gets to, make the soap and do the Pain and Panic because they're like the sidekicks to the baddie, which is cool because I don't think we've done that yet. So that's sweet. But speaking of baddies, before we get too terribly far into, this whole soap and what she did with it and all that jazz, I keep forgetting to tell you guys. So you remember the Ursula soap that Georgia May made a long time ago, really, and how awesome it was with the cool like seashell thing in the middle, and it's just beautiful, right? How cool that was. So my sister-in-law actually knows the animator who worked for Disney Animation during The Little Mermaid, and he was working primarily on Ursula through all of that, and she sent it to him, and she sent the picture of the Ursula soap to him, and he like put it on his socials and stuff. Like he actually had a little shout out of like an Ursula soap, and he thought it was very cool, and that was very exciting to me. Like Dave Woodman, the guy who like drew Ursula, liked the Ursula soap. I thought that's big, and that's something that Georgia May can put on her little awesome list of awesome things in her life, because that is legitimately awesome. And yeah, I keep forgetting to tell you guys that, but that happened. That was a thing. Her Ursula soap got mad props from the guy who helped create Ursula, that's high praise, my friends. And so yeah, I had to spend some time bragging on Georgia May and her awesomeness throughout this, because that is so cool. That's like, Anyway, just tell Georgia May in the comments below how cool that is and how proud of her you are, because I'm super proud of her. Like, that's epic. And you know, the rest of her life is going to, if this is indicative of, you know, how the rest of her life is going to shape up in all of these, all good things in her her artist future. Really, that's a. She can make art in soap form. She's done the Ursula. She did the Bob Ross. She's an amazing and talented artist in her own, you know, veins, and doing paintings and all of the things. And so, yes, she's awesome, and she got a cool shout out from the guy who helped create Ursula for the Little Mermaid movie, which is extraordinary. But yes, so we are not doing a Little Mermaid soap today, and Dave Woodman did not work on Hercules. He did not do that one. So, you know, it's not really related. It's not like at the end of that story I'm going to be like, oh yeah, I'm also going to send this to him, or have my sister-in-law send this. No, I'm not going to do that because he didn't work on Hercules. But Hercules, Pain and Panic. George May is making Pain and Panic today, and that is awesome. So she decided, when she decided to do this, that she wanted to split the bar, into two halves, and do one side Pain and one side Panic. And so because of that, one side is like the bluey green and the other side is pink, and they are also going to be scented with two different scents on each side, which I think is pretty epic and cool. And yes, that's exciting. Pain and Panic, two different scent blends, two different colors, and you know, let's go check out the pour and see what she does with, you know, that. Now, the pouring of Pain and Panic. Now, the scent blend we haven't actually talked about. So, yeah, so we should talk about that. So Pain is spicy orange and Panic is teakwood, which is cool. So you have two different scents in one bar. That's awesome, right? Like, I mean, with our blends, we usually have like lots of different things that go into one bar, but like one half of this bar is spicy orange and the other half of this bar is teakwood. That's cool. Like, that's good job, Georgia May, right? That's amazing. Now, you like her divider there? That's a really high-class professional soap maker divider right there. And I mean that, actually. I'm not even kidding. That's what you should do. I think I've said before, Mr. Soap and Clay has actually made dividers for all of my molds. Like, he's made them out of like metal, and they have beveled to hang, and it's all a thing. And I don't really know where they are. Here's the thing, my shop is 2,600 square feet, right? It's a lot, and we have a lot of stuff that gets like shoved in, you know, storage closets and boxes and like all the things. And so for the most part, George May and I both really dislike using dividers. And actually, all of the Soaprentices, I've never really taught them to do things with dividers. I think I've probably mentioned it during a first pour, like the right way to do this is with a divider, but here's what I do. But so like they're not out often enough for us to just keep out and handy, but you know, cardboard boxes are always handy. So you can just rip the thing off and do the thing, and it's great. But I love that Georgia May created a divider for this, because it's smart to do that. You should do that for this particular thing, because again, she wanted one half Pain and one half Panic, and so that's what she's doing here. And you know, her scraping it back into the mold, this is because she was taught by me, and I don't like wasting soap batter. I don't really think any soap maker likes wasting soap batter, but there are also, you know, people who will say, if you're pulling a divider out, do not do this. And I'm like, no, do this. Do this. You should put the soap back in the mold, because otherwise it's just like a waste of perfectly awesome and good soap. There was like an entire, you know, half an ounce of soap batter on that. which isn't a lot, but you know, still, it's all a thing. And yeah, she did a really beautiful job with this. This pour was awesome, and I didn't actually talk about her like multi-pouring skills while she was multi-pouring skilling them, but that was impressive. Getting left hand and right hand to talk to each other and work at the same time to pour at even, I can't do that. I mean, I do it, but I stress out during it. I wonder if she was stressed out during it. I would, whenever I have to pour something at the exact same time through each, I totally stress. But yes, she made it look like it was the easiest thing in the world. But honestly, when you have 2 different containers on each side, yep, you should, it's stressful. It really is. Now, her final little piece for this is putting little horns on for Pain and Panic. And again, she's being smart about it and not just eyeballing it, because I think because she knows that she's the one who has to cut this, and so she's thinking ahead to, I have to cut this. And when she has to cut it, she wants to make sure that it's as easy as possible. But when she knows I'm going to cut a bar, I think she maybe phones it in. Like, well, Mrs. Soap and Clay will figure it out. And you know, I do, and that ends up being like hand cuts and stuff. But for Georgia May, she's like, she knew she had to cut this thing, and so she did the, you know, smart little trick of making sure that her eyes weren't deceiving her and where she put everything, so they would all be perfect and run through the cutter, you know, perfectly. And good on you. This is actually something that I had never thought to do. And that's why it's so fascinating watching other people make soap, like in my space, right? Like people come up with, and it's, you know, it's true with classes and everything as well, the way that they approach something. Georgia May never ceases to amaze me. She teaches me tricks all of the time. And it's just a difference in the way that our brains work. And I love that. It's absolutely amazing. And that's like, you know, when people are in classes too, it's the same thing. They'll ask a question when I'm, you know, teaching about a particular pour or whatever. They'll say, well, why, how about we do it this way instead? And I'm like, that's actually a good idea. You should try that. And I love that. That's the cool thing about soap making, is that it's not a one size fits all, you know, thing, right? There's an overall, you know, baseline of, here's your oils and here's your lye solution, and if you mix it enough, it will turn into soap. But the way you achieve a pour or a design or a technique across the board, it's different for everybody, and everybody brings their own little bit of awesomeness to the table. And you know, if this is what works for you and your soaping, do that thing. That's awesome. And that does not mean you're wrong. There is no right or wrong when it comes to the design of soap making, which is something that, like, I think is important. And also, what's up there? She was one green horn too short. One green horn short. And so she's just going to make a new one, because that's what she does. And, you know, that's a piece of melt and pour, by the way. The embeds are all melt and pour. And so she just poured out a flat, you know, thing for the horn, and then drew it out, carved it out, did the thing. And now she's going to put it in the soap, and the soap, I don't know if the soap is getting sea-popped, actually. I'm going to say no, it's not going to get sea-popped, because we have the horns and we don't want them to melt. So this will be covered and it will set overnight, and then Georgia May will cut it tomorrow, and we can see what it looks like inside and how awesomely adorable her Pain and Panic bars are. And that's really exciting. I'm looking forward to that one. And on to the cut, and that bar of soap looks beautiful. It has a nice good sheen to it. None of the horns melted. It looks amazing. And I look forward to watching Georgia May cut this, because I I get nervous with things like this. And again, I usually end up hand cutting them because I get freaked out. But it actually looks like everything went through really well, and there were no horns that were like decapitated here. And again, pulling from the middle, it's what Georgia May does. I love that. And that is so super cute. Yeah, weirdly, she noticed that the line in the middle there, the little divider moved or something, and that's interesting. Now, that would be one reason why you get proper dividers. But, you know, if you make proper dividers, it's like you have to make proper dividers. And if you buy proper dividers, it's like, wow, that's expensive. So, you know, I actually think it's kind of cute for them to kind of merge into each other there. Because in my brain, Pain and Panic are merged, right? So for Hercules, like, which side is Pain and which side is Panic? Is Pain the... Pain is the red one, right? Like the short red one. He's the pink guy. And Panic's the tall, like nervous guy. Who interestingly also looks a lot like the... what was the emotion that he represented? The purple guy in Inside Out. He also looks a lot like him, doesn't he? Like, and also panics, freaks out. Much like the nervous guy in Inside Out. It's all a thing. But those bars, super beautiful. Like, she did such a great job with that. And it's simplistic in design, but it's so awesome. It's like the dualities of, it's all the things. That's amazing. I really do love that. She did a great job, and I think that pairs really well with the Megara bar that we did. And yeah, look, there's Hercules. I mean, not Hercules, because we didn't do Hercules, because he's kind of boring in that. Even though the movie's named after him, he's not nearly as cool as the rest of them. But yeah, that's it. That is a Pain and Panic, and it's blood orange, it's teakwood, it's a dual, it's all the awesome, because why would Georgia May do anything other than all of the awesome? Panic is totally the blue one, right? Totally the blue guy. The skinny blue, yes. And Pain is the red one, the red pinky one, because then he like gets real angry and yeah, right? Either way, I don't really know which one is Pain and which one is Panic, but they're both cute in a bar together, and I love that bar. I really like how she scented one side with the spicy orange and the other one with the teakwood. Super awesome, inspired. I love all the things. And yeah, if you are interested in the Pain and Panic soap, you can totally find it on the website at soapandclay.com, along with the Megara soap and all of the other Disney inspired soaps that we currently have in stock, which actually are not very many. So there's that. Yeah, and if you are interested in more soapy antics and fun and all of the things, you could subscribe to the channel. That would be awesome. I would be super appreciative of that. For those of you who are subscribed to the channel, thank you so much. I am super appreciative of you because you're amazing. And I have had so much fun throughout this entire thing. And I know like 10 days of thanks is over, but I'm going to keep thanking you because it's awesome that you are here with me for this little moment in your day. So I really do appreciate that. And that does it for me for today. I will see you guys all again tomorrow for another round of 365 days of soap. Bye.